So, present day to each and everyone. I am Lyra Gomez Maglasang, the reporter of Section 30.1 Partnerships with HEI and TVI. So, the Department of Education plans to partner with Higher Education Institute and Technical Vocational Institute to address the expected decrease in enrollment due to implementation of enhanced basic education program. They will use the resources of this institute and issue guidelines for the partnerships. Additionally, DepEd, CHED, TESDA, TVI, and HEI will work closely together to implement strategies that ensures the capabilities of HEI and TVI to provide education and training services for graduates of enhanced basic education program. During the transaction period, priority will be given to HEI and TVI faculty members who are allowed to teach secondary education students under Section 8 of the Act. So, next is a DepEd Order 40, Section 51 of 2004. The curriculum for elementary public schools and private. The said DepEd order has been adopted by DepEd Administrative Region of Muslim Mindanao under the Executive Order number 30A of the ARMM Regional Governor. This has been monitored closely and evaluated by Basic Education Assistance for Mindanao Australian Agency for International Development or BEAM and AUSED with the recommendation to undertake a review and refinement of the curriculum including the textbooks, the teachers' manuals, and other learnings. So, next is the outcome of the reviews is refined elementary madras curriculum with two models. First, the REMC for public school coined as Arab language and Islamic value education are alive, and followed by the refined standard madras curriculum or RSMC for private. Both models contain learning areas expectations for grade 1 to 5, grade 1 to 6. Next is the REM aims to establish a smoother transfer of Muslim pupils for recipient private madrasa to public school with a live program or vice versa. Unify the long history of dichotomy and education among Muslims and promote the Filipino national identity at the same time preserve the Filipino Muslim cultural heritage. All elementary public schools with at least 15 Muslim pupils and recipient private madras are enjoined to implement the REM contained in enclosure. DepEd Order 51 aims to facilitate a smooth transfer of students between public schools and private madrasa and institute provided education on previous subjects such as mathematics, grammar, poetry, history, and the Quran and Islamic law. So, madrasa means a place of study or learning. It preserves the historical education of the Filipino Muslim, preserving the cultural heritage of the Filipino. Next is the DepEd Order 32 of 2015 adopting the Indigenous Peoples Education Curriculum Framework. Pursuant to DepEd Orders number 62 of 2011 entitled Adopting the National Indigenous People Education Policy Framework, and DepEd Order 43, Section 13 entitled Implementing Rules and Regulation of Republic Act 10533, otherwise known for Enhanced Basic Education of 2013. The Department of Education is adopting the enclosed Indigenous People Education Curriculum Framework, recognizing the right of Indigenous peoples to basic education and culturally rooted and responsive. The IPED curriculum framework seek to provide guidance to school and other educational programs, both public and private, as they engage with indigenous communities in locali- lo- indigenous communities in localizing, indigenizing, and enhancing K-12 curriculum based on their respective educational and social context. So this DepEd order aims to provide or to give chance to the indigenous people to have the quality of education that other Filipino have. Next, fundamental to IPED is establishing institutionalized partnership between indigenous community and respective schools learning programs which serve them. This is to be pursued through sustainable community engagement which guarantees the meaningful participation of indigenous communities in the inclusion of indigenous knowledge system and practice and indigenous learning system in basic educational curriculum. So in this area, the IP, IPED is establish partnership to the indigenous communities to have learning programs of the schools to pursue a sustainable community and guarantee also the education that they wanted to have. Next is the continuous process of community engagement and reinforcement of IPED curriculum at the school community level actualizes the department commitment to the attainment of above-mentioned rights of indigenous peoples to education in regards of school and learning programs serving indigenous learners to the aims of K-12 program realized through IPED. The IPED curriculum framework was formulated based on inputs from a series of consultations conducted by DepEd Indigenous People Education Office with community elders, leaders, and implementers of community-based IPED initiatives. Next, immediate dissemination of strict compliance with this order is directed. Thank you for listening.